What's up everyone, how are you all? Today we are back with another blazing Naruto story. What if Naruto was like Yoriichi? If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments, and also check the description box to original creator of this beautiful creation. Hiruzen Sarutobi the third Hokage walked to Ninja Academy. He stopped as he saw the children playing with each other, but his attention was focused on one particular child. The boy was Naruto Uzumaki, the Jinchuriki of the most powerful tailed beast, the Kyuubi. He has blonde hair, 2 birthmarks, one of 3 whiskers on each sides of his cheeks. The other one was flame-like mark on the right side of his forehead. The boy was a mystery as far as Hiruzen knows. The cage has never seen the boy, never shown emotions or expressions, just a blank face. The villagers hated the innocent child and they made sure to make his life hard, but still Jinchuriki showed a blank face. Hell, Hiruzen has never heard the blonde boy speak but knew Naruto was mute nor deaf. No matter what he did or say, the boy never spoke or show an experience. Hiruzen let out a sigh and walked over to the blonde. The small boy turned to the cage with his blank expression. Hiruzen. Hello Naruto, how are you? Naruto just looked at Hiruzen before looking away and started to use the swing seat. Hiruzen let out a sigh and took out a small box. Hiruzen. Hear this from the Anbu dog. Naruto stopped swing and took the box. He opened it and there was 2 hanafuda earrings and note. Hiruzen opened his eyes in shock as a genuine smile appeared on the Jinchuriki. Naruto put on the hanafuda earrings. He got off the swing and left the academy. Hiruzen was going to stop him but the boy was already gone. Time skip. Naruto ran to the woods and after little more time pass, he made to a treehouse and went inside. Once the Uzumaki stepped foot inside, an orange fox with red eyes and 9 tails meet him. This was the most powerful tailed beast, the Kyuubi, yet to Naruto, he was his best friend. Kurama. Hey brat. Naruto smiled and started to pet Kurama. The two just sit down. Naruto enjoyed spending time with his best friend as he felt the breeze and the sunlight. Kurama looked at his Jinchuriki and went in Naruto's lap. The fox stretched before falling asleep as the Uzumaki petting him. The two stayed like this until Naruto need to go back to class. Time skip. Everyone was listening to Haruka as he was telling about the taijutsu battles they were going to do. Haruka called different names for the battles and after few minutes later, there was only one more battle. Haruka. Alright, Sasuke Uchiha and Naruto Uzumaki come to the circle. The two kids walked to the circle with Sasuke with an arrogant look. Meanwhile Naruto still had blank face. The fangirls of Sasuke yelled for his victory and boo Naruto. Haruka. In 3, 2, 1 fight. Before Sasuke could do anything, Naruto in a blur was already in fort of the Uchiha. The Uzumaki landed hits in the leg, chest, ribs and left shoulder. Sasuke fall on the ground with pain. No one did anything as Naruto moved away too fast for anyone to react. The Uzumaki looked the Uchiha before turning away and walk away from academia. Haruka finally react once the blonde left. Haruka. Naruto, where are you going? Naruto looked at Haruka before disappearing. Haruka was shocked at the speed of the Uzumaki. He was going to talk with the Hokage but for now he was going to check on Sasuke. Hiruzen with Anbu dog walk up to Naruto looking at village sitting on head of 4th Hokage. Before Hiruzen could speak the dog Anbu beat him to it. Dog. Naruto, why did you leave the academia? Naruto. I hate it. Hiruzen and dog look with confused looks but dog had a feeling what the Uzumaki meant. Naruto. I don't like the feeling of hurting other person. So I don't want to be shinobi anymore. I never want hurt other human being again. Hiruzen was going to speak yet dog interrupted him. Dog. I understand that you don't want to hurt people but what will you do when others people hurt the ones you care about? Naruto was thinking as what would he do if someone was hurting Anbu dog or the 2 nice people at Ichiraku. The Uzumaki looked at dog and wasn't sure. He don't like the fact that needs to hurt others as shinobi so he just shrugged his shoulders. Dog. Sai looked Naruto in our Woolard. It's kill or be killed. I wish you born in world where you could live in peace but sadly that can't happen in our world. I know you don't like hurting people yet that won't stop people from other villages or Rogan ninja from hurting or killing the ones you love. Naruto looked at dog before turned back to the village and nodded. Dog smiled behind the mask before patting Naruto's head. The Uzumaki smiled before getting up and jumping off. The two saw how in mid-air the blonde disappeared in flames. Hiruzen. How did he do that, Kakashi? He wasn't taught the body flicker. Dog took off his mask and showed eye smile. Kakashi. Well, Lord Hokage, I have no idea. Time skip years later. In Ichiraku Ramen, Naruto was eating his 6th blow of ramen. Ayame. So Naruto, are you excited for your genin test? Naruto nodded as he finished his blow. Tucci put other blows in fort of his favorite customer, the Uzumaki. Tucci. Come on Ayame, we already know Naruto is going to pass this easily. Naruto quickly ate his ramen before putting money on the table. He smiled and waved goodbye before leaving towards the academy. Scene change. Aruke walked into the classroom with Mizuki. All the students were all ready to start the test. He then started to say a speech, and after it was done, Aruke started to explain what the test will be, which they will be Shurikenjutsu, Taijutsu, and finally Ninjutsu. Everyone went outside to do the test. In the Shurikenjutsu, the person who got 10 out of 10 was Naruto, while the others got rather 6, 5 or 4 out of 10. The close one to Naruto's score was Sasuke, who got 8 out of 10. In Taijutsu, Sasuke was in first place, which only angered the last Uchiha. Why? Well, it was simple. Naruto refused to fight any of his classmates. Aruke allowed it since over the years, no matter what, Naruto never fought other person. In the test of ninjutsu, near half of the class pass. The only person now need do the last test was Naruto, Aruke and Mizuki waiting for the Uzumaki to start. Aruke. Okay, Naruto do substitution jutsu, after that transformation jutsu, then lastly clone jutsu. Naruto only nodded. He did the substitution jutsu, replace himself with a log. When doing the transformation, the blonde turned into the 4th Hokage. When the clone jutsu come up, but the Uzumaki did nothing as burst of fire come up and prefect clone of Naruto was there. Aruke was shocked to see Naruto did a element clone, but he smiled and give the blonde a black headband. Naruto put on his headband then left. Scene change. Civilians congratulated their kids who pass, but once they noticed the headband on Naruto, they glared at him with hate and whispered under their breath how they shouldn't have left be a shinobi. All of this was heard by the blonde, but he don't care. Naruto look at entrance of the academy to see Kakashi and Ichiraku's waiting for him. Kakashi. Yo Naruto, congratulations on passing. Ichiraku's. Congratulations. Naruto showed them a small smile and they walked to Ichiraku Ramen. Time skip. It was night and Aruke dodged multiple shurikens from Mizuki, who had the forbidden scroll on his back. Aruke was breathing heavily since Mizuki caught him off guard and cut his back. He tried to jump off, but Mizuki rushed towards Aruke. The traitor smiled as took a kunai and was going to stab Aruke through the heart. The sound of metals clashing rang out through the forest. Half of Mizuki's kunai fall on the ground. The traitor couldn't even react to who block his attack because he was sent flying back from a hit of tail. Aruke shock. Naruto. Said Uzumaki look at his ex-teacher with cold and emotionless eyes on his shoulder was his tailed beast. The blonde look at to Aruke then at Kurama. Without needing to say anything, the tail of the fox stretched out and taught Aruke's chest. Red chakra covered Aruke and all his injuries were healed in seconds. The teacher was shocked and look at fox. His eyes shot wide open because the fox on his student's shoulder had 9 tails. Meanwhile, Mizuki slowly got up as he spit out blood. All of his ribs were broken and pierced one of his lungs. Mizuki. Damn you. Damn you demon fox. Naruto. Tell me, why did you turn your back on the village? Mizuki. Simple power. Lord Orochimaru offered me more power than I can dream if I stole the forbidden scroll. The traitor thought of something and smiled darkly. Mizuki. Hey brat, you want to know why everyone hates you? Meet with silence, the traitor continued. Mizuki. Simple, because you are the demon fox that attacked the village. Instead of seeing a shock and horrified experience, Naruto had the same experience but laughter of the fox on blonde's shoulder-filled forest. Kurama. Holy shit, how stupid are you humans to think the kid is me? Shock filed the 2 Chunin from words of the fox. Aruke at first thought he was seeing things, but the fox just proved him wrong. Kurama. Hey kid, let me take care of this. It been a while since I stretched my paws. Naruto nodded to his best friend and walked to Aruke's side. Kurama smiled as one of his tails rushed towards the traitor. Mizuki couldn't even react as one swing took his head right off his body. The fox let out a sigh of disappointment before jumping his Jinchuriki's head. Without saying anything else to his teacher, Naruto and Kurama disappeared in burst of flames. Naruto was in middle of Hokage office. The Hokage was serious and wasn't going to put up with attitude. Hiruzen. Naruto, tell me, how is Kyuubi out? Naruto. Kurama. Hiruzen. What? Naruto. His name is Kurama and I don't like him being locked up in a seal in my body. Hiruzen. Naruto, this is the Kyuubi. He is a damn monster who will destroy at any moment. How could let him free? It is amazing, the demon D. A cut appeared on the face of Cage and behind him was a kunai stabbed into the wall while blaze on fire. Naruto was now looking at the cage with cold and emotionless face. The air around them started to heat up. The guard Enbu of Cage want to attack but the pressure Naruto was letting don't let them breath, and the same thing was happening to Hiruzen. Naruto. Don't you dare call Kurama a monster. It wasn't his fault that he was control and seen his weapon. He is my best friend and brother, so don't you dare. All the pressure disappeared and Naruto now had his usual claim expression. A puff of smoke appeared on Uzumaki's head and Kurama was now there. He showed arrogant smile at the Hokage while showed the old monkey the middle finger. Naruto left the room. Hiruzen was sweating like crazy and caught his breath. The pressure that the blonde wasn't normal. Hokage felt like he was in the presence of sun and it was going to crash into him. It was going to burn him alive, and it actually scared the old monkey. Time skip week later. All the teams that were called by Iruka left except for Team 7, who were formed by Naruto Uzumaki, Sakura Haruno and Sasuke Uchiha. It's been about 2 hours since they've been waiting for their sensei. Sasuke was pissed that he was in a team with Sakura and the person who he hated the most in the village, Naruto. The Uchiha hate the Uzumaki as he remembered Sasuke of Itachi too much. Meanwhile, Sakura and Naruto were had a small conversation. The pink hair girl was happy to be in team with person like Naruto who is always kind and claim until her other teammate. She still doesn't understand why her parents and other adults hate the Uzumaki. Sakura don't listen and hang out with boys sometimes and they were great friends. Sakura. When do you think sensei is coming? It already been 2 hours. Naruto point at the door and right on cue. Kakashi walked through the door with bored look. Kakashi. My first impression of you guys. All of you are boring, meet me up on roof and don't be late. Kakashi showed them eye smile before popping into smoke. Sasuke and Sakura sweat drop while Naruto let out small chuckle. Small time skip. Kakashi put away his book as his students arrived and sit down in front of them. Kakashi. Alright, introduce yourself with your likes, dislikes and dreams you have. Sakura. Why don't you go first, sensei? Kakashi. Fine, my name is Kakashi Hitaki. My like and dislike I don't want to tell you. My dream, never really thought about it. Sasuke. Sakura. He just told us his name. Kakashi. Bubblegum, you go. Sakura. My name is Sakura Haruno. My like are reading and hang out with my friends. My dislikes are jerks. Sasuke. People hurting my friends, and dreams is to be great kunoichi like Tsunade Senju. Kakashi. You are next, duck butt hair. Sasuke glared at Kakashi. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. My likes are little and dislikes are many. My dream isn't a dream but it will be a reality, it's to kill certain someone. Kakashi around his eye as he already knew the Uchiha will be difficult and may be a flight risk. Kakashi. Whiskers, you are last one. Naruto. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. My likes are ramen, seeing Ichiraku's, my big bro, and Kurama. Dislikes are seeing people in pain and suffering. I have 2 dreams. One is to make sure the shinobi is in peace so there will be no more bloodshed, and second is to have family. Kakashi showed eye smile hearing the dream of little bro. Sakura's face turned bright red seeing Naruto smile for the first time. Meanwhile, Sasuke thought Naruto was idiot and stupid for his dumb dream. Kakashi. Now that's done. Let's move on to talking about test for you bring real genins. Sakura. Test. Kakashi. Yup. The first test was to see if you have potential to be ninjas. Now I will getting you the real one. So I want you all to training ground 7 tomorrow. Oh, and I suggest don't eat breakfast. Like Kakashi popped into smoke, Naruto and Sakura want to eat lunch. Time skip. Kakashi made it to the training ground after 3 hours and noticed his little bro and Sakura eat breakfast while Sasuke don't it. The copy ninja stepped right in front of them while taking out 2 bells. Kakashi. Alright, here is the test. Your goal is to take this bells from me. Sakura. Huh, but sensei, there is only 2. Kakashi. Yup, one of you will go back to academy. Now you guys should go with the intent to kill me. The test will be over when rather you get the bells or clock ranges. Naruto, you will need to fight me. I know you don't want to fight me or comrade, but this time you have. Naruto only nodded and sighing in sadness, having to hurt his big bro in order to be a ninja. Kakashi. The test will start, now. The 3 students soon disappeared to hide. Kakashi looked around already knowing where to genin before taking his book out. Kakashi thoughts. They okay at hiding, and like always Naruto is unstable. Few minutes passed before Kakashi dodged multiple shurikens, then sidestepped to avoid kunai's stab from Sakura. The copy ninja was kicked Sakura, but the pink hair disappeared and the stop where she once stood was burned grass. Kakashi put his book away and grabbed his headband to uncover his left to show a Sharingan. The copy ninja slammed his palms into ground. Kakashi. Earth style, mud wall. Mud wall come up as multiple fire-covered shurikens hit it. Kakashi's ninja instinct suddenly kick in and used chakra to boost himself to avoid giant fireball. From the flames walk out Naruto, who had his claim experience. Naruto looked at his big bro and smiled. The Uzumaki put his hand to left side of his waist. In burst flames a sword. Naruto unsheathed his sword. The color of blade was black as night, but soon it turned bright red. Naruto experience turned cold and no emotions. Kakashi was on guard, but he don't even blink as the blade of the Uzumaki made cut in right size of Kakashi's cheek. The copy ninja tried to punch Naruto, but a powerful knee to stomach sent the Kakashi flying. The copy ninja fall on ground and grabbed his stomach, feeling his ribs broken. He couldn't even rest as giant log was rushing towards him. The gray-hair ninja jump in the air as threw multiple shurikens to Sakura, yet Japanese dragon made out flames destroyed the weapons. The flame dragon disappeared to show the Uzumaki. Naruto. Sun-breathing 9th form, Dragon Sun Halo head dance. Kakashi landed as lightning started to spark from his hand. Naruto sheathed his blade, then in right hand. A flaming ball of chakra formed. They going to rush at each other, but the clock rang. The attacks of the 2 ninjas disappeared. Kakashi covered his left eye while Naruto claimed look was back. The 2 let out a small chuckles. Sakura ran over to her friend before with starts in her eyes started to say how awesome Naruto was. Kakashi told them how much of great they did. Shock, nothing but pure shock filled Sasuke. He couldn't believe it. First seeing the Sharingan eye and second, the fight between Sensei and Teach was on whole other level. He couldn't even keep up with the fighters, yet other emotion was fueling the Uchiha anger. He hate and just hate how far Naruto than him, and Uchiha, the most elite family of the leaf. The more Sasuke looked at Naruto, the image of Itachi started to show up and burning hate formed to the Uzumaki. After the test was up, Kakashi was wondering if he should pass his team or not, since Naruto and Sakura did work together as team but not Sasuke. The copy ninja just let out a sigh since he was going past them, because if he didn't pass the all-great Uchiha Sasuke, the civilian council will be a bad in his ass. Kakashi. Sigh, alright, you 3 pass. Sakura, Sasuke. We pass. Kakashi. Yup, even though Sasuke did nothing, I can see this team can working together, so I pass you. Sasuke just narrowed his eyes as his burning hate for Naruto grew even more. Sakura was just happy and high-fived Naruto. Kakashi. Tomorrow we start doing missions, so rest up. Like that the copy ninja disappeared. Naruto and Sakura left to eat ramen, leaving the Uchiha alone with his thoughts. Burning anger filled Sasuke as his eyes turned red with one tomo in each eye. The Sharingan was awakened in the last Uchiha. Sasuke cursed the Uzumaki under his breath before leaving to his apartment. Someone watching as the Uchiha left, that was Kakashi. The copy ninja was serious as he narrowed his eyes. The Uchiha turned into even bigger flight risk. Kakashi still wonder why the Hokage would put Naruto and Sasuke on team together. Anyone Cloud C saw hate of Uchiha towards Kakashi's little brother. It wasn't good idea to have those 2 on a team, but it was decision of the cage. Kakashi let out a sight before disappeared in puff of smoke. Time skip 4 weeks. Kakashi. Already team copycat here. Do you see the target? Sakura. Bubblegum and no sign of target here. Sasuke. Duck butt hair and I don't see the damn cat. Naruto. Sunshine here and sensei I have Tora. Kakashi. Alright team, let's up in Hokage Tower and good job Naruto. Time skip. The cries for help of Tora were heard by Team 7 and the Hokage as they saw how the owner give the poor cat crushing hug. The Uzumaki felt bad for poor animal before going the owner. He told the lady how to treat Tora and like that, the missions for looking for the cat Tora was no more. Kakashi. Lord Hokage, I would like other mission for my team. Hiruzen. Alright, we have different D-rank missions like looking after babies, walking the Inuzuka's dogs or painting house. Kakashi. Can we have C-rank 1? Hiruzen. You sure your genins are ready? Kakashi looked at his students and nodded. Hiruzen let out a sigh before saying bring in the bridge builder, a person who smelled like alcohol walk inside. Tazuna. This are ninjas who are going to protect me. Kakashi. Don't worry Mr. Tazuna. My team is fully capable to protect you. Alright time, we are going to meet at the gates in 5 minutes, don't be late. Team 7 nodded and they left. Time skip. Team 7 with Tazuna walk away from the gates of the leaf. They just walk for 20 minutes and nothing has happened. Everything was calm until they walked past a puddle. Naruto suddenly had chains come out of his back as 2 people burst out of the puddle. The chains grabbed the 2 enemy shinobis. The 2 tried to break out. One of them tried to use his chakra to break out but nothing. The hell my chakra? Why can't we break this chains? Kakashi. The demon brothers Gozu and Mizu have anything to say Mr. Tazuna. Tazuna was nervous but explained what was happening in the land of waves. Kakashi. This mission turned into a B rank. A genin team shouldn't be doing this. Tazuna. Please help us, thanks to Gato I could only afford C rank. Kakashi. I wouldn't put my students in danger but you won't let them suffer right Naruto. Naruto only nodded as he used the chains to knock out the demon brothers. Kakashi shake his head and motioning his team to follow bridge builder. Tazuna was happy that they will help free wave and showed them the way, but first Kakashi put the demon brothers into a scroll. Time skip. Team 7 and Tazuna were a few minutes before getting to land of waves, but something which was worrying the copy ninja was the unnatural mist. After 10 seconds the shinobi of Kakashi were yelling at him. Kakashi. Everyone down. Kakashi grabbed Tazuna and went to ground like the others as big sword nearly cut off their heads then slammed into tree. Someone suddenly landed on the hilt of blade. Zabuza. Well, it's the copy ninja himself Kakashi Hitaki. Kakashi. Zabuza Momochi, the demon of the mist. Never thought you would work for someone like Gato. Zabuza. Business is business, now give me the bridge builder and I will let you live. Kakashi. I don't think so. Naruto, protect them and if anything happens to me, you take on Zabuza. The demon of mist just laughed at the stupid idea of fresh genin fighting him, but suddenly his instincts yelled at him to dodge. The demon of the mist quickly took out his Kabikirabocho to block 2 kunai of Kakashi. The copy ninja tried to kick Zabuza's head but the demon of mist blocked it, yet strong kick to the jaw knock off the head of Zabuza. The body of demon of mist turned into water. Kakashi. Shit. The blade of Zabuza cut Kakashi's body in half, but like the ex-mist ninja, the copy ninja's body turned into water. Zabuza cursed himself as Kakashi burst out of the ground. He tried to stab Zabuza's neck, yet the copy ninja was kicked into the water. Kakashi tried to get out but Zabuza was faster and trapped him in water prison. The demon of the mist thought Kakashi would yell at his students to run but Kakashi. Naruto, your turn. Zabuza. What really Kakashi, you think a genin would stand a ch? The feeling of his ribs breaking silenced the mist demon as he was sent flying back. Zabuza started to cough as burn mark of feet was on his chest. Naruto grabbed his sensei as fire surrounded Kakashi, healing him. The 2 non-blood brothers nodded before the copy ninja went to his students. Naruto looked at Zabuza and walking towards him as the water boiled with every step he took. Zabuza grit his sword as the Uzumaki took out his katana. Zabuza. Show me what you got, kid. Naruto said nothing, just look at the mist demon with zero emotion. The heat started get hotter and hotter as the whole lake was boiling. No movement was made as Naruto and Zabuza just look at each other. Suddenly in blink of the Kabikirabocho was going cut the Uzumaki but it was blocked. Naruto quickly punched mist demon's stomach then kneed the jaw of him. The jaw of Zabuza was completely broken and Mist Demon back up then tried to do hand signs, yet Naruto appeared behind him and slashed Mist Demon back. Naruto then jumped and slammed his foot in the shoulder of Zabuza dislocating it. Fire burst from the point of blade of Uzumaki as he unleashed single thrust into the left shoulder. Naruto. Sun-breathing 8th form, sunflower thrust. Zabuza fall on ground as the pain grew even more from boiling water. Naruto was going to attack but Senbon's went into neck of Mist Demon. A Mist Hunter Nin landed grabbed the body of Zabuza and left. Naruto knew Zabuza wasn't died and Hunter Nin was fake but he couldn't handle it anymore. Even though they were his enemies the feeling of hurting other was terrible. Naruto fall on his knees and grabbed his chest as tears fall. The heat disappeared as the water stopped boiling. Tazuna. Why is he crying? Kakashi said nothing as he ran towards his little brother. He hugged Naruto as the copy ninja knew how much pain the Uzumaki was in right now. Sakura then told Tazuna how Naruto hated to hurt others even his enemies yet someone was smiling seeing suffering of blonde it was Sasuke. The Uchiha saw how pathetic the Uzumaki was right now and it made him happy but a kunai slashed his cheek. The copy ninja and Haruno glared at him with anger. The killer instinct of Kakashi made Sasuke shake in fear. 5 minutes pass until Naruto claimed down then made their way to Tazuna's home. They were greeted by daughter of Tazuna, Tsunami and thanked the ninjas for helping them. Once inside a little kid named Inari hugged his grandpa but glared at the leaf ninjas before leaving to his room. Sakura. What's his problem? Tsunami. Sorry about him. It's just been hard for Inari after the loss of my husband. Tazuna. Let me explain how Gato ruined our land. He started to explain how everything went to hell since Gato got here and story of Inari's father. At the end of the story everyone except for Sasuke felt rage for what Gato did. Naruto showed no emotion but the grip of his blade plus rising heat spoke all his words. Kakashi. Come on team let's go and train, Naruto you will guard Tazuna and his family. Naruto nodded then they left. Scene change. It'd been 10 minutes so Tazuna and Naruto walk into town. The Uzumaki stopped for a minute as he saw the rundown and ruined homes and buildings, seeing how kids going through trash for food or begging for it. The store had very little food and lots of people were homeless. Tazuna. Shock ha kid, this bridge is our only hope of freedom from that bastard. Naruto had nothing but his mark seemed to grow yet it stopped as he felt someone tug his haori. The Uzumaki turned to see homeless little girl no more older than 5 with her hands asking for food. Naruto's mark suddenly grew even more bigger yet he took out a sandwich from a seal and gave it to little girl. She smiled and said, "Thank you," before leaving. Tazuna. That was very nice of you Ki. Hey are you okay? Naruto's hair covered his eyes but his mark seemed to glow crimson. Fire formed under his feet. Tazuna was little freak so took Naruto by shoulders. Tazuna. Come kid let's go. The bride builder took the Uzumaki back to his house but what Tazuna don't notice was that there was no burn marks where Naruto stood instead a rose grew. Time skip. It was dinner time as Sakura and Sasuke eat like crazy from the training of Kakashi. Naruto slowly eat his food as memories seeing the town was burned into him. Beside that everything was nice until Inari. Why are guys even here? Gato is just going to kill you all. Tsunami. Inari. Inari. What it's true Gato is too powerful. They will just be killed. Sakura. Hey don't underestimate us. Inari. Just go back to your prefect lives in your village. You guys who live in Great Village would never understand what pain we go through. Tsunami was going to yell at her son but Naruto. Would he like to see you like this? Inari confused. What are you talking about? Naruto. Your father. I think he would be disappointed to see his son become this. Inari was pissed now. You don't get to talk about him. You don't know how it feels to lose family. Sakura had enough and was going to smack sense into the brat but the hand of Uzumaki stopped her. He got up and walked to the door. Naruto. You are right, I don't know how it is to lose family because unlike you. I never had a family, I was alone from the start until I meet them. With those words Naruto walked out leaving everyone in shock or feeling sadness. Inari left while crying. Tazuna and Tsunami look at Kakashi who questioning looks. Kakashi. I will explain everything after Naruto kills Gato. Tsunami. He trying to do what? Sasuke. He is going to be killed like the idiot he is. Tazuna glared at Uchiha before facing Kakashi. We need to him before he is killed. Kakashi. Don't try to stop him. Tsunami. Aren't you his sensei? Why aren't trying to stop him? Kakashi shake his head. No, because it's simple. Naruto hates more than hurting others is seeing them suffer. I'm sure what he saw whatever is in town. Nothing is going to him from killing Gato. Gato is going to get the wrath of the sun itself sent upon him. The mansion of Gato was seen with the 10,000s of bandits and mercenaries guarding it. At the gates 2 bandits and you'd tell they were bored. Bandit guard. This most boring job. Bandit guard 2. Oh, clam down, if you want when you go on break, go use one of the woe. In blur of flames their heads were cut off and their bodies turned into ashes. Naruto looked the ashes with zero emotions, then created fire Rasengan and smash it into the gates. The alerts rang out as some bandits and mercenaries ran towards the gates. Naruto rushed at them as flames burst and taking form of dragon of fire. In a blur all of them were decapitated and turned into ashes. Naruto then jumped high in the sky. Naruto. Fire style, Crimson Fox Storm. The Uzumaki took out multiple shurikens and threw them down as fire consumed them and took the shape fox, but it don't end there. More foxes of fire appeared and followed the fire shurikens. The attack rained down on the bandits and mercenaries. They wouldn't do anything as jutsu hit them and turned them into ashes. Naruto took out his sword and landed on the ground. Naruto. Kurama. Kurama. On it. Soon Kurama's chakra burst from Naruto and the fox was let free, but he was different. Instead of his normal tailed beast form, Kurama was now chakra avatar of fire. The 9 tails let out roar which put fear into the bandits and mercenaries plus was heard by the people of Wave and Team 7. The tails of Kurama slammed into everyone he saw. Meanwhile Naruto went inside of mansion to even more enemies, the only for to get cut down by Naruto's sword. Few minutes later he found a metal door and seemed to be soundproof. The Uzumaki wonder why, then kicked the door open. Just see how Gato's men torturing men, boy, are showing them how they raped their daughters, mothers or sisters. Naruto's eyes shot open but narrowed as all emotions vanish. His mark glowed crimson as his once black blade turned burning crimson and giant pressure filled the room, causing the men of Gato hold their throats from lack of air. Naruto. Sun-breathing 9th form. Dragon Sun Halo Head Dance. In burst fire dragon appeared and seemed to let out a roar. The men of Gato don't even know what happened but feel great pain as they felt their bodies turn into ash when their heads were cut off. To them it feel like the wrath of the sun god fall upon them, yet to the kidnapped people of Wave, it feel like sun came down and covered them in its heat and healed them. Naruto looked the prisoner people and sent them free. He also made sure they were completely healed by his flame. The Uzumaki continued until he found Gato's room. Next to the Uzumaki a puff of fire appeared, then cleared to show Kurama. There was no need to ask, so the fox shot very weak Bijudama. The door and huge part of the room was destroyed. Gato was scared as hell to see the 2 monsters who completely destroyed his mansion. Naruto looked at the crime boss, then quickly decapitated 2 bandits who trying to sneak attack him. Gato scared. What yo? The Uzumaki appeared in front of him and kneed him in the stomach. The crime boss spit out blood as his ribs shattered and pierced one of his lungs. Naruto. Tell me, what is the weight of human life for you? Gato tried to say something but nothing come out. For the crime boss, taking life was easy because he was the richest man of elemental nations. No consequences would fall on him, but now someone was coming for his head. Naruto suddenly changed for Gato. The shadows covered the Uzumaki and suddenly 6 glowing crimson red eyes appeared. The kanji for the sun appeared in 2 of the eyes. Other mark appeared in left side of his cheek and went down to his neck. Plus the marks glowed as well crimson. Naruto. Such disregard for human life, what's so amusing about it? The heat raised as a pressure filled the room, causing Gato to have hard time breathing. The crime boss now knew it. He angered a demon. No, not a demon but a god. The god of the sun, and he was sending the sun's wrath on crime boss. Naruto took out his katana as his breathed flames come out. Naruto. Sun breathing 13th form, Yoriichi. All the forms of his breathing techniques into one form. Gato don't have time to scream as he was cut down, yet he did feel the burning cuts as he turned into ashes. Naruto sheathed his blade and looked his best friend. Kurama smiled as Bijudama was changed. Scene change. All of the people of Wave and Team 7 showed near Gato's mansion. The families show lose people to Gato cried when their loved ones appeared with no harm. Sakura. Where is Naruto? Suddenly the mansion explode. This worried Sakura and people of Wave expect Kakashi wasn't as he knew his little bro well. From the flames and dust come out Naruto with Kurama in his normal form around Uzumaki's neck sleeping. The people of Wave started to cheer for Naruto and call him their savior. Sakura was just happy to see her friend safe and without a scratch. Kakashi walked over to his little brother and pat him on the head. Meanwhile, when Sasuke saw Naruto come out of the destroyed mansion so calm, he started to get flashback of Uchiha massacre and his hate, the envy and his hunger for power grow. Naruto looked back at the mansion with cold look as he finally understood what Kakashi mean by there were evil people in the shinobi world. His mark glowed crimson and grew little bit. Only 4 days has passed since Naruto killing Gato and everyone was much happier since the Uzumaki don't helping there. Turns out that the blonde's weird control of fire release did more than anyone could expect. The fire of Naruto could grow natural, plant life and different fruits. That how Jinchuriki made sure everyone in Wave had some food until they get back on their feet, but as for now, Naruto was helping Tazuna and his workers to finish the bridge. Meanwhile, Sakura looked at Naruto with sad expression when her and Tazuna's family learned about the truth of Naruto. She don't imagine how pain, aloneness and sadness her blonde teammate went through being hated for having the Kyuubi was one thing, but also being feared and seen as threat by the Hokage, the person that promised the blonde's parents to protect him and ninjas because of the power Naruto had without Kyuubi was other thing. Sakura thoughts. Those hanafuda earrings from sensei give you back your faith. Time passed until the bridge was finished and now Team 7 could finally leave back to the Leaf. Everyone from Wave said goodbye to their hero Naruto. The Uzumaki only had small smile as happiness felt him seeing the smiling faces of everyone. Soon the Team 7 said their goodbyes and left towards Leaf. Time skip. Kakashi split from his students to give his report to the Hokage. Kakashi. That alone that happened in our mission. Hiruzen. Kakashi, why did you not return after seeing it was a rank mission? Kakashi. Because I knew my team could handle it even more with Naruto. Lord Hokage. He is more than capable easily take down someone like Zabuza. The third Hokage let out a sigh as he ordered the copy ninja to leave, which he did. Hiruzen grabbed his head as worry filled him. Naruto seemed to become more powerful day by day. Hell, the boy don't even train but his power kept growing. He should do something about the Uzumaki maybe. Hiruzen. What the hell am I thinking? Sai, I promised to protect and help the boy, not try to get rid of him. Trash, nothing but trash was Hiruzen calling himself. He could see the piss-off faces of Minato and Kushina. Those two will kill him and one of them will do it even if he trap in Shinigami's stomach. Scene change. In Team 7 training spot, Kakashi and his clone was in taijutsu match with Sakura and Sasuke while Naruto patting Kurama. The fox was smiling seeing the Uchiha getting his ass beat. Their training stop as Kakashi was explaining the next type of training they would be doing. Naruto getting a bit bored of doing nothing, so he would do some practice with his 13th form of sun-breathing Yoriichi. Sasuke noticed this and smirked as his Sharingan active. Kakashi noticed this and was worried. Kakashi. Sasuke, don't even think about trying to copy Naruto's movements. Yet his words fall on deaf ears as the Uchiha tried to copy Naruto's movements. When Sasuke moved just a little inch, his eyes shot open as huge pain filled his body. His lungs felt like they were going to explode if he took other breath and his muscles were on fire and rip apart. Sasuke spit out blood as he cried the red liquid. Sasuke. Can't see a breath. Kakashi. Dumbass. Sakura quickly went to Uchiha and used the medic jutsu, but it seemed to no effect. Flames surrounded Sasuke, healing him from the negative effects of trying to copy the sun-breathing forms. Sasuke. What was that? Kakashi. I told you Naruto's breathing technique isn't something the Sharingan can copy. Sakura. I thought that's what made the dojutsu special, why can't it copy the technique? Kakashi. Simple, Naruto's sun breathing is mix of chakra and special breathing technique, you can't just copy it. Sakura. I thought the Sharingan could copy nearly anything. Kakashi. Not too sure why, but it can't copy sun breathing. Look, Naruto once tried to teach me how to use it, but after nearly 4 years of nothing, I tried to copy it, but the same thing that happened to Sasuke happened to me. This shocked and angered Sasuke. How could a random nobody have something that the great Sharingan, the most powerful dojutsu of shinobi world, can't copy? He got up and walked away to Uchiha compound. Naruto looked at the Uchiha teammate with sadness. He could feel the anger and hate in Sasuke. It was like a volcano erupting non-stop. The Uzumaki was starting to think ways to teach his brother and teammates some different type of sun breathing. Suddenly light bulb comes, so he turned to face Kakashi. Naruto. I have an idea. Kakashi. What idea? Naruto smiled before saying his idea to Kakashi and Sakura. The copy ninja and pink hair opened their eyes in shock before nodding. Sakura. Okay, which one will you try make first? Naruto. Thunder breathing. The sounds of thunder boomed throughout the training ground of Team 7 was heard as Naruto landed on the ground, behind him a trail of lightning. Naruto. Thunder breathing first form. Thunderclap and flash. He sheathed his sword as just finishing testing the first breathing of the 5 he created. The new breathing styles were ready for his team and maybe in the future other people. Kurama. Naruto, you sure this good idea? Naruto. What do you mean? Kurama. Training and giving a breathing technique to the Uchiha. Naruto was quit before shake his head yes. He had hope that the Uchiha can change into a good person. The tailed beast let out sigh as no good ever come from Uchihas, but he can't make Naruto rethink this. The Uzumaki smiled and pat Kurama, then left to find his older brother. After a few minutes Naruto found the copy ninja. Kakashi. Hey little brother, what's up? Naruto. I finished them. Kakashi. Wait, really? It only been 2 days. Naruto nodded. Yes, but I did it now. I want to teach you thunder breathing. Kakashi. Let's go to the training ground. They quickly went to the training ground and then Naruto started to explain the first steps of learning thunder breathing to his big brother. Time skip 2 months later. Both Sakura and Sasuke walk into the training grounds of their team just to see Kakashi on the ground breathing out of control. Naruto using his flames to heal him. Sakura. Naruto, what happened to sensei? Naruto. Big brother is fine, just out of breath from training. Sasuke. What type of training are you doing, sensei? Kakashi took 2 deep breaths before answering. TR training in breathing form. Sakura. You're trying to learn sun breathing again. Kakashi shake his head no. Then Naruto started to explain to both of his teammates that he created new breathing forms since they couldn't use his own breathing. His teammates were amazed. Sakura was a bit red and happy cause Naruto created these forms to help them, but for an Uchiha. The lust for power was starting to come to his heart as the thought of learning this technique will probably make so he copy the sun breathing with his Sharingan. Kakashi. I'm trying to learn thunder breathing, but out of all the forms besides sun, it's the hardest to learn even. Sakura. So how do we start? Naruto. First let me explain the breathing technique. It is use of specific and concentrated breath patterns, which increase the lung capacity and amount of oxygen in my blood. An increase of oxygen that allows me to enhance my physical abilities and mental concentration. Sasuke. And you are always doing this without thinking about it? Naruto nodded yes, which angered the Uchiha and made his hate and greed for more power even bigger. Kakashi. While Naruto trains you two in the breathing, we are going to see if any shinobi store has any chakra swords. Sakura. So we have long to go, huh? Kakashi. Yup, and get ready to work hard since it took me nearly half a year to get down the basics down fully. Once you do done that, Naruto will see what breathing type you guys are best at. Sakura and Sasuke nodded. They were ready to start training. Time skip 4 weeks. Kakashi took a deep breath before taking a stand. His hands on his new sword that looks like a lot like his father's sword when the copy ninja used as a genin before it broke. The only difference was the small patterns of lightning. Lightning started to form around Kakashi, then the Hitaki dashed forward, leaving a trail of lightning ripping through the air. At blinding speeds, the copy ninja unsheathed and decapitated the training dumb before sheathing his sword back. Kakashi smiled seeing he finally able to use the first form of his thunder breathing. Meanwhile Sakura and Sasuke were shocked at the pure speed of their sensei as they couldn't even see him move even with the Sharingan. Sasuke was angered as his powerful dojutsu couldn't see it. The Uchiha continued to train, having only 2 people in his mind that caused unbelievable anger and hate. Itachi, his brother, and Naruto, the curse-marked child. He was going to beat them no matter. Kakashi. Alright, that enough training for today for me. I'm going to a meeting with the Hokage and other senseis. Kakashi waved goodbye before disappearing in cloud of smoke. Scene change. All the Jonin senseis were gathered up for important news of the Chunin exams. Hokage. As you know, this year's Chunin exams will be held in the Leaf, and I need to know if any one of you are planning to sign up any one of your genins. Kakashi. Team 7 will take part in the Chunin exams. Surprise were shown on everyone as the copy ninja want to send 3 newly graduated genin to an exam which could ended up in death. Guy. Kakashi, my eternal rival, are sure about this. I made my team wait a year before letting them take this exam. Random Jonin. Wait, isn't one of your the duh? Kakashi glared at him. I mean Uzumaki banned from the exams. Kakashi. No, he isn't. I remember they tried to ban from both council tried to ban Naruto from becoming a shinobi. He said that Kakashi side-eyed the Hokage, who seemed very guilty as he almost let the councils get away with it. Asuma. Well, if he doing it, then I signed Team 10 for the exams. Kurenai. Team 8 will be part as well then. Guy. Team 11 is ready for the exams. The Cage nodded as he added which teams will be taking part of the exams. Kakashi left the Hokage tower and his way towards a shinobi shop. He went inside and asked the owner for an order of 3 chakra swords. The copy ninja paid the cost, that was about $351, and would be ready in about a month or more. The copy ninja left towards the training grounds, and few moments later, he saw the tired, sweating forms of Sakura and Sasuke. Naruto happily eating a blow of ramen. Kakashi. Yo. The grunts of the pink hair and Uchiha were heard as they were too tired to spoke and seemed to fall in sleep. Naruto waved to his brother and continued to eat his ramen. Kakashi. Welp, I guess I let you rest before giving you guys the news. The copy ninja seat next to his little brother and asked about how far were his teammates in their training. The Uzumaki told him that the training went actually faster than he expected, and the thing about it that was very surprising. It was Sakura who made the most progress in her training. Probably in 3 or 5 months she would ready for breathing form. Kakashi was surprised, don't give him wrong, but he honestly thought Sasuke would be the third one to be ready for a breathing form. Kakashi. How long until Sasuke is ready? Naruto. He is not very close, maybe in 9 months or a year he will be ready. Kakashi nodded and they continued to talk about the training. This was heard by Sasuke, who was filled with rage as Sakura, the weakest person in their team, was beating him in something that even took their sensei complete in half a year. His Sharingan appeared with burning hate as his two-more Tomo. He narrowed his eyes to Sakura, who was asleep from the hellish training. The feeling of hate was now going towards her, but closed his eyes as he was falling asleep. Meanwhile, the 9-tailed beast narrowed his eyes as he could easily sense the great hate inside of the Uchiha. Kurama don't like this one bit. Meanwhile, the Bone Blood brothers continued to talk about the training. Kakashi. What breathing styles seemed to fit them? Naruto. I have to see their chakra nature, but feeling Sakura's chakra, it seemed like water or stone breathing will fit good for her, although depending on the training she gets from you or other person beside her breathing, I may have to help her make a new form from water or stone. Kakashi. Wait, you can tell what forms of breathing a person can have from sensing their chakra. Naruto. Yeah, but I don't know about Sasuke sensing his chakra. I thought flame or thunder breathing, but his chakra feels so darker and doesn't fit any breathing. Kakashi nodded but hoped that the Uchiha wouldn't learn breath, since Sasuke would just become a bigger flight risk. Few moments later, Team 7 was ready to hear what their sensei had to say. Kakashi. Alright, now that everyone is woke, I signed you guys up for Chunin exams. Sakura. What, but we only been a team for few months. Kakashi. I know, yet you have gained so much. I trust you guys that clear this with no problem, but all 3 of you have to take part of this, and yes, Naruto, you may have to fight someone from the Leaf, even your teammates. Naruto frowned, not liking the idea of hurting someone from his home or team, but nodded. He want to make his brothers proud. Sakura was worried since she want to let down her teammates, but she shake her head. Sakura wasn't weak, plus with the training of Naruto and Kakashi she was much stronger. Meanwhile, Sasuke want to test his new strength against others and now having the chance to fight Naruto. Kakashi. Here, gives them papers, sign this, then go to Academy 2 if you want to take part of exams. The 3 look at each other and nodded. They signed the papers before giving it back to Kakashi. The copy ninja smiled before telling to meet at the academy in 10 days. With that, Team 7 left for their homes. Time skip. Team 7 was walking into academy ready to take the Chunin exams. They walk up second floor to see multiple people yelling at two ninjas guarding the door with arrogant smiles. Random genin. Hey, let's us through. Ninja guard. No, you really think you are for the exams? More people started to scream at them as Sasuke was going to say something about the genjutsu he noticed, but Naruto grabbed his shoulder and shook his head. Sasuke. Are you doing? Sakura. Simple idiot, we will have less competition, so let's leave. So the third floor. Sasuke glared at his teammates as his pride was hurt before they left, but they don't notice other team was looking at them. So that's Naruto Uzumaki. Don't do anything, Lee. The now named Lee looked at the spot where Team 7 once stood and a fire appeared in his eyes. Scene change. Naruto was happily petting Kurama as Sakura and Sasuke were discussing about the exams, but the voice of someone caught their attention. Lee. You there? The three look up to see someone with big eyebrows. Lee. Will you fight me right here? Team 7 was confused as Lee landed in front of them in his taijutsu stance. Lee. My name is Rock Lee and I wish to test myself against the one whom my sensei calls the greatest prodigy of all time. Sasuke smirked. So you want to fight me just so you know I. Lee. No, not you, I'm talking about the Mark 1 Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto. No thank you. Lee. Understandable, have a great day, my enteral rival. The said rival of Naruto give the blonde a thumbs up with smile that shines but seemed unnatural bright. Naruto. He seemed nice. Sasuke, Sakura, Kurama. What the foo? After having that weird encounter with big eyebrows, Team 7 made it to the test room, and once they opened the door, every ninjas from the other villages look at them and try to intimidate them. The key word was try, as the team was not affected one bit as they felt greater killer instinct. Naruto looked around and his state landed on red hair boy who seemed that hasn't slept in years. From the headband of the boy, he was from Sand Village. Naruto don't know why, but he felt connected to the Sand Ninja somehow. He could see in the redhead's eyes sadness and loneliness hidden behind madness and lust for blood. The Sand Ninja seemed to notice the state of the Leaf Ninja and their gaze meet, yet before anything could happen, Team 10 showed and caught the attention of Naruto. Meanwhile, the Sand Ninja just stayed at Naruto for a few seconds before turning back. Ino. Hey, big forehead. Sakura. Ino, pig. The two girls look at each like they were about fight, but they smiled. Shikamaru and Choji went over to talk with our favorite Uzumaki, then soon Team 8 showed up. The Konoha 12 were back together and they talk a bit before the instructor showed up in puff of smoke with intimidating aura. Alright brats, I am Ibiki Morino, your instructor. Now all of you are going to do a written test and the rules are simple. Don't caught cheating, as my staff will know. If you are cheating and you get 3 marks, you and your team are disqualified as well. All of you are going to be stead in random order to stop you from helping your teammates. After few minutes everyone was stead and the test were handed out. In just moments 5 teams were eliminated, which scared lots of people, yet the others weren't affected and continued. The test wasn't Chunin level but Junin level, which caused some problems, yet the Konoha 12 were able to cheat the answers. Expect Naruto, who was happily finished the test thanks to the help of his tailed beast. The Uzumaki did a little whistle and at speeds which no one saw 2 firebirds flew towards his teammates and tell them the answers. Time skip. Ibiki. Now time for the last answer of the test, and just to warn you, if you failed to answer the question you can never try the Chunin exams ever again. The outcries of rage were quickly shut down from the killer instinct of Ibiki, who explained they were unlike to have him as their instructor, then asked who will leave for other try next year. Lots of teams left and very few were left as the killer instinct of their instructor, as the last question could determine if they could ever become Chunin. Ibiki smiled as the killer instinct stopped. You pass. Everyone. Huh. Ibiki explained the reason of the test and how ninja need stealth so they won't get caught by the enemy. He took out his headband to show multiple scars. Ibiki. Now foe. The window shattered and purple hair woman. Ibiki sighed as Anko put up a sign with the words, the next instructor. I am Anko Mitarashi and you brats are. Ibiki. Anko, you don't let me finish. Anko. Sorry, but I was getting bored and I see you have lost your touch. Anyways, you brats follow me to the training grounds 44 or sinister smirk, the forest of death. Hearing those words plus the smirk of their new instructor, Few minutes later the patients arrived to training grounds 44 and some already were terrified as the roars of some animals could be heard. Anko explained what the next part of the test, which was trying to collect 2 scroll the earth and heaven. They will need to fight other teams to other scroll they will need. Anko. I also need to sign a paper so you can't sue us. Naruto was signing his paper but he could feel something off as one person seemed to give off big killer's instinct and evil aura. The fix of Kurama's ability to sense emotions and his own ability. Naruto thoughts. No human should be able to give off this aura. He finished signing and grabbed the scroll before meeting with his team. Sakura. Hey Naruto, are you okay? Naruto. Nod. Sakura was very worried as her teammate was acting very worried yet put her focus back on test. Everyone went to their gates to enter the forest. Anko started her counted down. Time skip. Team 7 moved quickly through the giant trees looking for Earth Scroll. Sakura. So what's the plan? Sasuke. Focus on looking teams for the Heaven Scroll but they stop. We need to come up with secret codes so no one can try to trick us. Sakura. How about our breaths? No one knows about them since Naruto created. We just need to say our breathing styles. Sasuke. Yeah, that's very good. Suddenly flames surrounded the group protecting them from wind jutsu. Naruto showed no emotion as woman from the Sound Village. Kukakuku, that was very quick. The mysterious woman showed sinister smiled as huge wave of killer instinct was force on Team 7. Sakura and Sasuke suddenly hate visions of their own deaths in horrible ways. They fall on their knees. Sakura turned to see Naruto and he wasn't moving. Sakura thoughts. No way Naruto is being effective. How s. Naruto. You are human. The mysterious woman seemed surprised that the brat wasn't affected. Naruto walk out of fire shield as in his vision. He could see through the body of the woe. No, it was a man who stole the body of a woman. He could see the body of the man had 2 hearts, 4 brains in the arms and legs, yet that wasn't all. Naruto took out his sword and the air started to heat up. Thoughts. What the hell? What's this feeling Ayan and my? Naruto appeared in fort of the man and cut off the arm of the mysterious man. The screams of the man could be heard throughout the whole forest. The Uzumaki swing his sword up cutting a sword which come out of the mouth of the man. The sound ninja jump away. Thoughts. Damn it, why does it hurt so much? It's like I am getting affected by the damn sun. He opened his mouth once more and from it come out Orochimaru, who had arrogant smile but that quickly disappeared. His arm turned into ash and the cuts reappeared. Orochimaru. How? Orochimaru couldn't believe what he was feeling. Pure prime fear filled the traitor snake as his arm should have grown back after getting out of damage 1 but no, the ashes proved him. This made no sense, he was practically immortal. His instincts yelled at him as the snake barely dodged a slash. Naruto moved once again and landed multiple cuts on the traitor. Each cut felt like the sun was hitting to Orochimaru. Legendary shinobi tried to run but the Uzumaki don't let him. He stretched his arm out and flame chakra arm grabbed Orochimaru then pulled the snake to himself. The sword of the Uzumaki was sent ablaze as he did first form of sun breathing. Orochimaru yelled from pain. During the fight Naruto's teammates couldn't believe what they were seeing. Orochimaru, one of the legendary Sanins, was getting his ass by genin and was trying to escape with terrified face. They saw how Naruto slammed a Rasengan into traitor leaving a huge spiral wound. Sakura was amazed to see how powerful Naruto and basically making one of the 3 legendary Sannin into a scream child, but someone else wasn't happy. Sasuke, who just stood there frozen seeing the strength of Naruto, who just with his killer instinct made him see how many ways that Uchiha could get killed. Burning anger filled Sasuke as the feeling more and more powerless grow more as the Naruto's fight continued. Orochimaru laid down basically being nothing but a head. Anything that he tried against the Uzumaki failed. No jutsu, attack or his summons couldn't stop him. Naruto feel nothing looking at Orochimaru and was ready to put him to rest, but then he created a wall of fire protecting himself from a chakra-covered fist. He looked with sadness as someone from his village, his home, was betraying them. Orochimaru smiled seeing Kabuto as his followers came to his aid, but that smile disappeared as in one movement Kabuto was blasted away. Orochimaru. Keep that monster away from me. Use your marks now. Dosu. But Lord Orochimaru T. Orochimaru. Use them, I don't care if the marks aren't ready. Even if he was just ahead, The presence of the snake trader was overwhelming, so the sound ninjas started changed as different location on their body a mark started to glow. The sound team's skin started to turn a pale white color, claws and fangs started to grow, their eyes changed into a vertical slit with crazy animalistic look. Naruto could see the changes in their body and chakra, how much darker it has gotten but also how they lost something. Naruto. Sakura, Sasuke run. Sakura. What? Naruto. They have lost their humanity and turned into something. I can sense and feel their hunger for humans' flesh, please run. Sakura. What, we aren't leaving, why? Without warning, the Uchiha grabbed the pink hair and ran for the hills. Sakura tried to fight back but knocked unconscious thanks to her guard being down. The Uzumaki's blade turned crimson with flames dancing around it. Naruto. Whatever he did to you three, I hope that I can put your souls to rest. Kin and Zaku rushed towards the blonde with hunger in their eyes, but they turned to ashes as Naruto appeared behind them. Meanwhile, Dosu raised his arms up and holes formed to look out a blast of sound. Naruto put his palm out and formed a Rasengan, completing stop the attack, then he dodged a slash and the Uzumaki's leg was covered in flames. His leg slammed into the follow of Orochimaru's gut, sending flying into air as he turned into ashes. Naruto turned around ready to end the traitor snake, but he was gone. He cured himself for letting the monster run away. Now the Uzumaki need to find his team. Scene change. The screams of Orochimaru could be heard for miles. It'd been hours now since his ass beaten from the Uzumaki, but even if he was just ahead, the snake felt like if his whole body was still there, yet it was being burned every second by the sun itself. Kabuto rushed into their lab with a blue flower that soon crushed it before his hands started to glow green, then changed into a greenish blue. The screams of Orochimaru slowly stopped as his body was coming back, yet time from time parts of Snake's body turned into ash. 30 minutes, that's how long it took for Orochimaru's body to full come back and not turn into ashes. Kabuto. Lord Orochimaru, how do you feel? Orochimaru. That damn monster. Kabuto, give me more the artificial S. Kabuto. I can't, my lord. Orochimaru. Huh, what? Kabuto, I need more. Kabuto. Lord Orochimaru, it took all of our artificial blue spider lilies. The damage to your body was way too much, and I don't know how that child did so much damage. So your cells. Orochimaru. My cells. Kabuto. Yes, my lord, your cells have been severely damaged to the point that they were nearly fully destroyed. The functions of your body, even if it's demonic now, were destroyed. Your immortal body isn't immortal. Fear, pure primal fear, that was Orochimaru was feeling as he grabbed his chest. The multiple scars could be seen. The years of being a shinobi, Orochimaru never felt so much fear, but the image of the Uzumaki appeared in his mind with cold, emotionless eyes. Orochimaru. Kabuto, send everyone after that damn monster. Kabuto. My lord, we see. Out of the back of Orochimaru come out multiple tendrils that destroyed half the wall behind Kabuto. I said send every of our ninjas with their marks after that monster. Sasuke was yelling at Sasuke for leaving Naruto on his own to fight a Sannin. The Uchiha only rolled his eyes, which angered the pink ninja, and she was going to punch him, but they were grabbed by blur of flames. They were confused until look at who grabbed them and saw Naruto. Sakura was glad to see her teammate alive, while on the other hand Sasuke only glared at the blonde, seeing no injuries, nothing. Rage boiled in the Uchiha, seeing not even a legendary ninja couldn't stop the Uzumaki. Naruto. Once at the tower we must tell the Hokage about Orochimaru. Sasuke. Don't we need the earth scroll? The blonde only smiled as chakra firearm took out said scroll. The Uchiha didn't say anything but glared at the Uzumaki as they arrived at tower. Naruto opened the scrolls and smoke started to come off them. He threw them at ground and soon got bigger, then cleared to show the copy ninja smile eye. Kakashi. Yo, glad to see you all here and setting a new record of the fast team. Naruto. Big brother, we have bad news. Kakashi. Sakura. We were attacked by Orochimaru. Kakashi. What? Naruto. He was after Sasuke. Kakashi. Crap, how did he get in? That damn monster must be after the Sharingan. Thank you little bro, now rest, I'm going to tell Lord Hokage. In cloud of smoke Kakashi disappeared. Time skip. Hiruzen let out a sigh as 50 Anbu and 10 teams of trackers went off to see if the snake trader or any sound ninja. Hiruzen felt fear, A great fear, but it wasn't the fact that his ex-student came back and sneaked into village, yet it was fear towards Naruto. A kid who was only 12 years old beat and drive off one of the best shinobi in history of the Leaf, traitor or not. The boy's power seemed limitless, like no matter what was put in front of him, he will come out the victor, like the sun would always rise. Hiruzen wonder what would happen if the boy used the Kyuubi's power and what type of day. Hiruzen. What am I thinking? He has been nothing but loyal ninja to Leaf, but here I am thinking he whoa, grr. He put his hands on his face while thinking of the village and the best way to handle this situation. Hiruzen, after hours of thinking, got a decision which would be better for the village. Time skip few days later. The sound of swords clashing were heard as Sasuke jumped back, avoiding slash. He took a deep breath and rushed forward before jumping up. Sasuke. He took a deep breath before exhaling flame-breathing third form, blazing universe. His eyes shot open as pain filled his body, losing his grip on his sword. Sasuke's attack missed as Sakura stepped to the side and, seeing her change, took a deep breath as water started to surround her sword. Sakura. Water-breathing first form, surface slash. Her strike connected with her teammate's sword, making him drop it, then pointed to his neck. She smiled as her breathing was heavy. Sakura. I won. Naruto clapped, then gave her water bottles and tried to Sasuke won, but the Uchiha put away his sword, then walk away. His hair covered his activated Sharingan, which slowly started spinning. Sasuke thoughts. Damn it. How did she beat me? Why can she use a breathing form but I can't? He slammed his fist into the wall while his rage grew before heading towards his room. Once inside, he looked at weapon with anger as the pattern of flames caused nothing but hate to grow. Coving his fist in chakra, Sasuke slammed it on the blade, causing it to shatter. He took multiple breaths as blood fall thanks to broken shards. Sasuke. Who needs that damn bastard useless breathing forms? I will make my own and it will surprise his weak son. Meanwhile, with Naruto, he was very worried about Sasuke as his hate started to be beyond the malice of the demon Orochimaru. It saddened him but felt the arms of his other teammate. Sakura. Hey Naruto, don't worry, I'm sure he will come around with time. Naruto returned the hug before they left towards lunchroom. Time skip. All the teams that passed were waiting for the Hokage, and soon Hokage arrived. Hiruzen. Thank you all for coming. Now this year's teams are more than we expected, so we will have to have eliminate rounds. Soon Hayate Gecko explained they will a single round of randomly selected one-on-one matches is held where only the victor will get to continue on. Everyone went to the sidelines and face the screen as it shows multiple names until it stop on. Hayate. Will Kiba Inuzuka and Sakura Haruno come down? Sakura was a bit nervous but claimed down and went down as her sensei and teammate cheered for her victory. Meanwhile, Kiba and Akamaru jumped down and the Inuzuka had an arrogant smile. Kiba. Looks like an easy win for us, Akamaru. Akamaru. Bark. Sakura. You shouldn't underestimate me. Hayate. The rules are simple: until your opponent is unconscious or unable to fight, you win. We will interfere if we see it as necessary. They both nodded before Hayate gave the signal to fight, which Kiba rushed towards Sakura and tried to end it in one hit, which failed as the pink grabbed his arm. Kiba confused. Wah! A strong punch in the gut sent Kiba flying into a wall. This shocked the Inuzuka and some people. Knowing Sakura, Kiba coughed a little bit of spit before turning to his partner. Kiba. Akamaru ready? The ninja dog nodded and was going to jump on Kiba's back if it wasn't for Sakura, who slammed her foot into the face of Kiba. Not giving her opponent other chance, she took a deep breath as chakra covered her fist. She rushed towards Kiba as he stood up a bit confused. He couldn't even react when the fist connected with his face and saw nothing but darkness. Hayate. Winner of the fist round, Sakura Haruno. The pink hair smiled as medic ninja picked up the unconscious Kiba, who was followed by a very worried dog. Names rolled and after a few moments later, it stopped on two names. Hayate. Wulgara of the Sand and Kankuro. No thanks, I give up. The sand ninja waved his hands a bit wildly as there was no way in hell he was going to fight his psycho brother. Hayate just shrugged as news names started rolling. Hayate. Will Ino Yamanaka and Tenten come down please? Both genin came down, and once the fight started, it ended very quickly as Tenten quickly overwhelmed Ino with multiple weapons. The next matches were nothing special until the two certain names came up. Hayate. Rock Lee and Naruto Uzumaki, come down please. Lee. Why, it's my turn. The pure taijutsu user jumped down in excitement as Naruto's simple walk while his big bro and Sakura wish him good luck. Guy. Lee, since you are facing your rival, go all out, so take them off. Lee. Thank you Guy sensei. Rolling up his pants to show weights and took them off, he dropped them to the ground and craters were formed, shocking everyone. The genins couldn't believe he was moving so easily while having those on. Lee. Let's do our best, my youthful rival. Naruto nodded as his sword disappeared, which confused Lee, but the Uzumaki took a fighting stance. This fight was going to be purely taijutsu, and the Lee smiled, took his own fighting stance. Hayate. You know the rules, then fight. Lee rushed forward and tried to strike Naruto's gut, but the blonde quickly brought his leg up, hitting the chin of Lee. The taijutsu user stumbled back a bit before quickly recovering and started to send a barrage of punches. Naruto started dodging or block, and when other punch was thrown, the Uzumaki caught it before putting two finger to Lee's chest. His body hit the wall with such force that it left big hole. Lee came out of the wall with a big smile and gave Naruto a thumbs up, then crossed his arms. Naruto was confused, seeing something was happening in the body of Lee. First it was his left side of his brain, then right, next the spinal cord as his pupils disappeared. Skin turned bright red, hair standing and bulging veins. The next spot was the abdomen, and finally the stomach. Lee. Sixth gate of view open. The ground shattered with Lee screaming. The sudden use of the gate surprised everyone, as not everyone could use it, only small amount of people like Guy. Kakashi. Shock, I can't believe it. What time of hellish training did you put him, thought Guy. The copy ninja look at his rival, who only smiled, but Kakashi shake his head before focusing on the battle. In a blur of speed, Lee tried to land a punch, but Naruto dodged. The dodging of punches soon turned into some dance, and the room turned to heat up. Burn marks could be seen on the ground where Naruto stepped, then from the blonde's back, chakra arms shot out and grabbed Lee, then shoot him into the wall. The taijutsu user came back to the fight and was ready to continue, but Naruto stopped moving. The heat around the room disappeared out of nowhere. Was this really worth it? That was the question Naruto was asking himself. He could see the damage Lee's body was taking thanks to the gates, all of this just for some rank. He hated hurting people, and seeing how Lee was willing to go through caused two emotions: admonition for the hard work that Lee put himself through, but sadness in hurting him. There were few exceptions like Gato and his men and Orochimaru with his ninjas, as he felt they had truly no humanity in them. Just pure evil in their hearts, throwing away what made them human to be demons, metaphorically and literally. Naruto. I give up. Lee. Huh. Hayate. Huh. Everyone. HHHHUUUUUHHHHH. Naruto. I give up. Looking at his shaking hand, **I tried. I really tried to fight back, but I can't. I'm sorry Lee, I can't give you the battle you want." Lee was surprised as the gates turned off and he realized something. He was completely healed. For the matter of fact, the pure taijutsu user felt better than before. Lee. Your last attack healed me. Now that I think about it, all of your attacks involved your fire heal. Naruto. Nodded. Yeah, it's normal for me to heal people with my flames. The Uzumaki bow before leaving towards his team as the instructor called Lee the winner by forfeit. Sakura was telling Naruto that he did his best and Kakashi was proud. Expect one person. Sasuke was furious. Pure anger was shot towards the marked blonde, as their chance of rematch was now lost. In his mind, pathetic and useless were the prefect words to describe the Uzumaki. Sasuke mind. You don't deserve this power. It should be mine. It should be my power, not yours. Without realizing again, his Sharingan turned on, and in one of his eye, the last Tomo, the 3 Tomo Sharingan, was nearly completely. Sasuke thoughts. Wait, that's it. I know what's better than the sun. Sinister smiled the moon. The fights continued until few were left for the final part of the Chunin exams. Then the Hokage told everyone had a month to train to their best. So after resting for a few hours, Naruto and Sakura were now training her water breathing. Their swords clash for a while until the pink ninja jump away and use a water jutsu, only for Naruto to quickly counter with fireball. Mist was created when the jutsus clashed, which caused Sakura to put her guard up just to feel a hand on her back. She turned to meet the happy face of Naruto. Naruto. I win. Sakura. Sigh yeah. She laid down letting out deep breath as Naruto was pushing her to limits. Sakura was getting better and better at both kenjutsu and water breathing and soon training started once again. The days quickly passed with the pink growing stronger every day. Her mastery over her breathing was near at the max potential which greater made the Uzumaki, but one thing bothered him. The other teammate wasn't seen in any of the days. Sasuke seemed to vanish, yet Naruto felt his chakra. It was different, the little connection to flame breathing was gone, replaced by much darker energy. Meanwhile with Uchiha, Sasuke was breathing heavily, stating at the training dummy. He'd been training non-stop for the last days trying to create his new form, but so far no luck. He grabbed with his new blade with force and its appears looked nothing like his old one. It now had multiple moon patterns instead of flame pattern, with the color of the blade being dark shade of purple. The Uchiha took a deep breath trying to focus and tried to launch the first move. Sasuke. Moon breathing first form. Dark Moon, Evening Palace. He performed a singular horizontal slash following a crescent shape. Sasuke felt his chakra finally mix with his breathing form as slowly numerous chaotic crescent blade were coming from his blade butt. His blade fall on the ground as Sasuke cough up blood. His lungs felt like the first time trying to copy sun breathing, but the pain was less. Sasuke. Damn it, why am I so damn weak? It didn't mean any sense, this was his own form, so why did it cause him so much pain? His Sharingan activated with burning fury, then with force grabbed his weapon and tried again. His training continued for hours until the moon rise up, and by the end, Sasuke couldn't move a single muscle. Everything in his body felt so much pain, like getting hit by multiple fireballs, yet that didn't stop him. Sasuke. Moon breathing first form. Dark Moon, Evening Palace. The same movement was repeated and numerous chaotic crescent blade launch out, ripping the dummy to shreds. Sasuke smiled before falling on the ground unconscious. The moonlight shined on the Uchiha as two people appeared and took Sasuke away just as the copy ninja showed up a few moments later. Kakashi. He should have been here. The copy ninja look around and show the destroyed dummy, the uneven cuts and the blood painting the grass red. Kakashi. Something not right. He quickly did the hand signs for the summonings of pack of dogs who quickly to smell the scent of the Uchiha, but they shake their heads. Kakashi. Damn it. He rush off with his summons, and only a few moments later, the copy ninja was in fort of the Hokage and the leader's expression was deadly serious. Hiruzen. The scent of what? Kakashi. Demon Lord Hokage. It's the scent Naruto described when he faced Orochimaru. Hiruzen. A demon, how is that possible? Kakashi. Don't know, but right now Sasuke is at a high risk. Hiruzen. Kakashi, get Naruto, I have a mission for him. The copy ninja did hand signs and Hiruzen's eyes shot open as chakra formed in fort of Kakashi, them turned into a bird which flew away at high speeds. Kakashi. New jutsu Naruto created for information. It creates whatever animal you need for the job. In body flicker of flames, Naruto appeared with a serious look. Hiruzen. Naruto, you know what happened, right? Naruto nodded. Good, your mission is to rescue Sasuke from Orochimaru. There will be other Joe. Naruto. No. Hiruzen. Naruto. Others won't be able to hurt Orochimaru. His strength compared to the others is like sending children to fight a bear. You even wouldn't stand a chance. Those words shocked the cage. He wouldn't be able to hurt Orochimaru nor anyone else in the village. How much stronger did his ex-student get over the years? The Uzumaki should go, but if the snake kills him, then all the secrets that the blonde or turned him into a demon, then he would cause so much damn. Hiruzen let the boy go. The cage turned to face old man being supported by a cane, black, shaggy hair, and his right eye was bandaged. An X-shaped scar on his chin. He wore a white shirt, with a black or dark gray robe over the top of it covering from his feet, and seeing he was missing his right arm. Hiruzen. Danzo, what are you doing here? Danzo. Just for talk, old friend, but you shouldn't hold him back anymore. Hiruzen. The boy survived and kept his teammates alive during his first encounter and drive the snake back. What more proof do you need that he can handle this himself? Hiruzen didn't say anything. He saw in the only good eye of the old war hawk was nothing but pure confidence in the Jinchuriki. Hiruzen. Sai fine Naruto, your mission is return Sasuke Uchiha back to the leaf. The marked child nodded and disappearing in flames. The war hawk seeing the boy was gone. had a small sad smile as the memory a 6-year-old Naruto flashed in his mind but shake his head and turned to face his friend. Danzo. Well, old friend, tell me, who did you have in mind for Hokage? Hiruzen. You wouldn't believe it. The roars of excitement filled the stadium ready for the finals. Every ninja stood ready as Genma introduced himself, then give the word to the Hokage. Hiruzen give a speech about how proud the people should be with shinobi of their villages. Genma. Thank you, Lord Hokage. Now everyone who isn't Neji Hyuga and Shino Aburame please leave. Now that the two named opponents were the only left, Genma quickly said the rules before starting the battle. The bugs of Aburame were quickly picked off by the quick hands. The Byakugan activated and Neji rushed fort way faster than Shino could react. His chakra points were blocked with 2 fingers stopped so close to his heart. Neji. I win. Genma. Neji Hyuga is the winner. Next up, Temari of the Sand vs Sakura Haruno. The two kunoichi walked down to meet face to face. Genma asked them if they were ready and he got a nod in response. Genma. In 3, 2, 1. Go. Temari took her fan out as Sakura's blade nearly cut her. The sand ninja tried to jump back but a strong grip stopped that as the pink hair with surprising strength, throwing the sand ninja into a wall. Temari. What the hell is that strength? She felt like one of her ribs was ready to break, grabbing her fan with strong grip to launch as Sakura ran forward. The currents of the wind started collide with each other, creating vacuum pockets. Temari. Wind style, sickle weasel jutsu. Sakura twisting her body then used her blade to perform a fierce whirling motion. Water flow from the blade that soon formed into a whirlpool. The moment both attacks clash, the jutsu dispersed as the crowd cheered in excitement. Sakura looked at Temari with a smile, calling out her attack name in her mind. Sakura thoughts. Water-breathing 6th form, whirlpool. The pink-hair ninja rushed forward and took a deep breath. Water flowed once more from the sword and went for the attack. Sakura. Water-breathing 4th form, striking tide. The fan of the sand ninja barely went up to block the first attack, but multiple slashes quickly become overwhelming. Cuts all over Temari's body before Sakura slammed her leg across her opponent's face. Temari went flying and rolled across the ground. She hit a wall and let out a groan of pain, now feeling broken ribs, but that wasn't it. A shadow covered her which caused the sand ninja to look to see a water dragon rushing towards her. Temari. Oh fu. Her words were drowned out as her conscience left. The crowd yelled in cheers once more. Sakura looked up to see Kakashi with a giant smile, which the copy ninja give her a thumbs up, but for a moment realized Naruto wasn't there. That was kinda disappointing, yet knowing him, there had to be a reason. Meanwhile, with our favorite Uzumaki, his steps echoed through the abandoned lab of the traitor snake. He felt multiple presences and one of them was Sasuke, but it felt so dark, almost like Orochimaru. Naruto didn't like it one bit, and in a flash the Jinchuriki stood in empty area. Broken chains, dried blood and bones were scattered. Orochimaru. Hello there, Uzumaki. Naruto didn't move, just stated at the traitor. A purple barrier surrounded the snake. Kabuto and Sasuke, who had a fully 3-tome Sharingan with sinister chakra coming from his neck. Naruto. Sasuke. Sadness could hear in those words which just piss off the Uchiha. No more words were needed as Orochimaru did multiple hand signs. The door shut behind with multiple seals, making it impossible to escape as every ninjas of the traitor snake come out. Every single one of them were acting like rabbits, animals with demonic features. Naruto. I will give you one warning, return my teammate or else. Orochimaru. Kabuto, take Sasuke away. His loyal servant nodded and was ready to leave with the each, but the sound of barrier shattering caught their attention. The fist of the Uzumaki cleanly nearly hitting Kabuto. Orochimaru. Impossible. Quickly the snake took out his sword to stab the blonde, but a chakra chain grabbed it. Naruto tried to grab his friend but quickly dodged a kunai that went for his throat. Sadness filled the blonde as his attacker was no other than Sasuke, who had black markings all over his left side. Taking his chance, Orochimaru's neck stretched to bite down, which didn't work. Chakra arms grabbed the snake to throw him into wall. Naruto's mark seemed to grow and glow as he grabbed his sword with such force that room started to heat up. Naruto. Sasuke. The Uchiha look at his ex-teammate face. A single tear was seen falling from the blonde. Naruto. I'm sorry. That's all for now. If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments.